solving equations that have variables on each side of the equal sign. In the first example, it says 16x minus 23 equals 6x minus 13. Of course, first I'm going to change those subtractions to add the opposites. The first thing I want to do is I want to get my variables on the same side. Right now I have 16x on one side and 6x on the other side, so I need to move one of those. I'm going to move the smaller one, 6x, so I will add a negative 6x to both sides of the equation so that the equations will stay in balance. And notice now it will say 10x plus negative 23 equals negative 13. The 6x and the negative 6x added up to 0. Now I am back to one variable, and it's a two-step equation. So I will add 23 to both sides. And it becomes 10x equals a negative 13, and a positive 23 is 10. And then if I divide both sides by 10, my answer is x equals 1. In the next example, I have variables on both sides, an x and a 2x. Now notice, I'm going to have to be careful which way I move my x's, because if I move the x that's by itself over to the other side, there won't be anything left there but a 0. So in this case, I'm going to change this to add the opposite. And I'm going to move the negative 2x by adding a positive 2x to both sides. Now, the negative 2x and the positive 2x, of course, will add up to 0, and I will have 11 7/10 on this one side, and 1x and 2x are 3x on the other side. Then I'll divide both sides by 3. If I have to, I'll come over on the side and do my long division or short division. Put my decimal up. 3 goes into 11 3 times, because 3 times 3 is 9. So there'll be 2 left over, and 3 goes into 27 9 times. So x is 3 9/10. The last example has a fraction, but lucky for us, the fractions have the same denominator. Still, I'll have to move those variables to the same side. So I will add a negative 1/4 y to both sides of the equation. On this side, 3/4 and a negative 1/4, oops, 1/4 is a 2/4 y, but 2/4 I'm just going to reduce to 1/2. So 1/2 plus a negative 6 equals 10. Now I will add 6 to both sides of the equation. 1/2 y equals 16. Now I will multiply both equations by the reciprocal of 1/2, which is 2. So y equals 32. Solving equations with variables on both sides.